convened this hearing today to discuss the merits of the U.S.-China Civil Nuclear Cooperation Agreement, which was submitted to Congress in late April. This 30-year agreement, which is required by Section 123 of the Atomic Energy Act of 1954 and is a prerequisite for any significant nuclear cooperation with any country, any other country other than the United States. The movement of nuclear material and technology across borders deserve close examination. Today, we expect to hear from our distinguished witnesses on their assessment of the viability of our civil nuclear cooperation with China, as well as what their concerns may be about nuclear proliferation and the transfer of technology and knowledge for military purposes. We also expect to hear about the potential benefits of the 123 agreement, including expanded engagement with China, building mutual confidence, increasing clean energy sources, and supporting U.S. businesses. China's nuclear power program is the most rapidly expanding in the world, so the U.S.-China 123 agreement could provide a unique opportunity for U.S. businesses. The Department of Energy approved a bid by Westinghouse to build 4 nuclear reactors in China, and 6 more are planned, but as many as 30 more are proposed. Currently, China has an additional 23 reactors under construction and plans to build up to 100 more by 2030. PRC announced in December 2014 that it would spend about $11.2 billion annually on reactor construction during the next 10 years. However, I'm concerned about U.S. transferring its technology to China because Chinese firms may eventually re-export reactor technology to other countries without proper U.S. checks. Approximately 30% of the work outlined under current contracts is being performed by the United States, in the United States by Westinghouse or its subcontractors and suppliers, which has created or is sustaining approximately 8,000 direct jobs and another approximately 20,000 indirect jobs in the United States, in 20 United States. But technology transfer provisions in the contract would reduce U.S. participation in Chinese nuclear projects over time. I'd be interested to hear from our witnesses how we would secure jobs for American workers with these limitations in the provisions in the agreement. The agreement also raises important security questions. The Defense Intelligence Agency warned in February 2015 that China will continue to be a source of dual-use WMD applicable goods, equipment, and materials to countries of concern like Iran, North Korea, and Syria. Furthermore, the Nonproliferation Assessment Statement submitted with the administration's proposed agreement states that despite updates to regulations and improved actions in some areas, proliferation involving Chinese entities remains a significant concern. Without proper U.S. oversight of continued civil nuclear cooperation, I'd be hesitant to condone an agreement that would pose major risks to our national security, and I'd like to hear from our administration witnesses as to how we can address those concerns. The second concern involves military diversion. Experts have debated whether China has already diverted or intends to divert U.S. civilian nuclear technology for military purposes, including in naval reactors, which would violate the existing 123 agreement. Chairman Royce voiced this concern far back as 2007, and at a Senate Foreign Relations hearing in May of this year, it seemed to confirm that suspicion. I'd like to hear what the administration intends to do to remedy potential violations and hear how the United States will safeguard our sensitive technology from Chinese military diversion in the future. Lastly, I am concerned with China's plans to re-export nuclear power plants based on U.S. technology. Westinghouse's AP1000 technology is a crucial component to China's planned nuclear export program, though China only holds a license to use that technology domestically. What safety considerations exist during the re-export of U.S. reactor technology? Aggressive Chinese exports of nuclear technology, particularly to countries that do not currently have nuclear power, could pose proliferation risks. In fact, the Non-Proliferation Assessment Statement noted that China's ongoing construction of new nuclear power plants in Pakistan as inconsistent with its nuclear suppliers group commitments. Nearly 30 years ago, President Reagan said he was particularly proud of the agreement, saying it will open broad opportunities for joint work in development of the energy base which China needs for her modernization. At the time, the United States and China made mutual pledges of cooperation, nonproliferation, and safety. We're here today to discuss whether China has met those obligations. When President Obama submitted the new 123 agreement, he said that the agreement will advance the nonproliferation and national security interests of the United States. I'd like to hear from the administration why Congress should feel confident that China will live up to nonproliferation commitments, that we will have measures in place to prevent military diversion of our technology, and how we could safeguard our economic, political, and military interests.